Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today. Is a new NATO-like architecture developing in West Asia? Are the countries coming up under a collective security situation or an organization where an attack on one country in West Asia means an attack on all the other countries with whom this country has an agreement? Let's see about the Pakistan-Saudi Arabia Mutual Defense Agreement that was signed. It is called as the Strategic Defense Mutual Agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, where they both have committed that an attack on one means the attack on both, and that means both have to go to rescue to each other in case of an attack on either of them. And now Pakistan is planning to get into an agreement with other countries as well. Let me tell you, Pakistan is the only Muslim nuclear powered nation among the Muslim countries, and Israel is the only West Asian country in West Asia having nuclear power that is recognized by the world. Now, Israel has been on war with Gaza since a long time, and recently in attack in Qatar, capital of Doha, it has shot down two Hamas leaders, therefore escalating the war-like situation and bringing an immediate meeting of the Gulf Cooperation Council, where they have discussed to come into a collective security organization. This war of Israel has slowly deteriorated the trust of the security architecture provided by United States in this region, therefore prompting Saudi Arabia and Pakistan now to sign a defense mutual agreement where an attack on one of the member means the attack on both, and one will come to the rescue of the other in case of an attack of either of them. Let's have a quick review about what of these and what it means for the geopolitical situation, mainly India now having sought ties with Pakistan after the Pahalgam attack. What does it mean if India or Pakistan get into a conflict? Will Saudi Arabia come to rescue Pakistan at that situation? These questions need to be answered from the national security perspective of India. So in Pakistan and Saudi Arabia now have signed something called as the SDMA, or the Saudi Arabia Mutual Defense Agreement, where they have agreed that any aggression against either country shall be considered an aggression for both. And this is a very similar architecture which the NATO has, where an aggression or an attack of one of the 31 countries means an attack on 30 and all the 30 will come to rescue that one country. And that is why Ukraine wants to be a part of the NATO. Now, this agreement was signed and it commits each other jointly to each other's help in case of an attack. Earlier this year, let me tell you, Israel waged a war on Iran targeting nuclear facilities as well as civilian and military leaders. American bombers jets supported the assault of Israel, dropping massive bunker buster bombs on Fordo, Iran's clean nuclear site. 3 months later, Israel struck a building in Doha's neighborhood, which killed 5 Hamas and also 1 Qatari official as well. Therefore, strained ties between Qatar and Israel, where Qatar was to be a party of the Abraham Accords, which is mediated by United States, to mend ties between Israel and the West Asian countries. But after the attack on Qatar, now this seems to be a far-led dream. Doha attack triggered an emergency meeting between Arab and Islamic nations. The Gulf Cooperation Council states of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE said that they wanted to activate a joint defense mechanism and immediately followed the Saudi Arabia-Pakistan agreement under the scenario. Now, the strategic mutual element commits to each other in case of an attack on each other. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, Pakistan officials say that this agreement dates back to almost decades earlier of 1960s. Political analysts say the agreement is a landmark in the relation between the two countries, ties which date back of old decades friendship. Saudi Arabia was the first to recognize Pakistan after independence in 1947, and immediately after that year they signed a treaty of friendship. The signing ceremony was held in Riyadh, witnessed by officials of both the countries. Saudi Arabia is a custodian of 2 Islamic holiest sites of the world, and Pakistan is Muslims' world's only nuclear power. Pakistan previously maintained mutual defense treaties with United States during the Cold War, but they crumpled in 70s. Eventually, it wanted to do so with China, but now it still lacks a mutual defense pact with China. The agreement serves as a template for Pakistan for later agreements with other countries and allies in the region such as UAE and Qatar as well. Saudi Arabia is largely dependent on United States for its security, but it seems to be rethinking about the security in the recent years. The Pakistan deal is believed to manifest this shift. Saudi Arabia has two enemies in the region, Iran and Israel, and relies on United States for its security needs. The kingdom is ranked 24 out of 125 countries, while its partner Pakistan ranks 12th place. India is fourth largest military power after US, China, Russia, according to Global Fire Force database. In terms of global defense spending, let me tell you, Saudi Arabia ranks 7th, whereas Pakistan ranks 29th. India is ranking 4th according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Now, the deal comes at a very critical moment when the geopolitics of the region is critical. Regional politics have been surrounded on Israel's aggression against Gaza, striking neighborhood states as well, along with Qatar and Saudi Arabia borders as well. But it comes amid heightened tension between India and Pakistan after a conflict in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack and also Operation Sindoor. The agreement reflects a shared commitment of both the nations to strengthen security, promote regional peace, and also giving access to Saudi Arabia to the nuclear deterrent capability of Pakistan. Now, this brings into picture the nuclear deterrent capability of Pakistan and the amount of nuclear stockpile or weapons also that Pakistan has. Recently, the documents and the details of nuclear policy of Pakistan have come to the fore after signing this agreement with Saudi Arabia. Pakistan clearly mentions that its nuclear program is aimed towards India. And let's see some of the details still more. But before that, over the years, Pakistan armed forces have deployed several of the kingdom's armies for training in Pakistan and other Gulf nations as well, according to official records. Pakistan has trained more than 8,000 Saudis since 1967. An agreement signed in 1982 further cemented the defense cooperation between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Deputation of Pakistani armed forces personnel and military training in Saudi Arabia also takes place. The latest pact arrives in Middle East geopolitical chessboard, which is in a state of flux. The fallout from Israel's war of Gaza and its strikes on the regional neighbors had made Gulf states very uneasy, many of them still relying on United States security guarantees, even as Washington remains Israel's closest ally. Qatar, attacked by Israel for hosting the Mars reader, serves as a forward headquarters for US Central Command, CENTCOM, and as of 2025, some 40,000 to 50,000 US troops are stationed across the Middle East, deployed in large bases and forward smaller sites, and according even the most famous Prince Sultan Air Base in Riyadh. India said it is watching the deployments very closely. Pakistan Defense Minister said that Saudi Arabia will support Pakistan in case of an attack on Pakistan by India, and India said it's watching the developments closely due from the national security perspective. Now, India and Pakistan went nuclear in 1990. Pakistan has been deploying missiles that can hit very deep into India, but if pointed from the other sources, Pakistan also has long-range nuclear missiles which are being helped by China, and in theory these can also strike Israel. Therefore, the agreement comes at a very important time when Israel has attacked the Hamas officials in Qatar. Now, a former military official has also said that the nuclear arsenal will be accessible to Saudi Arabia, and the missiles also, which have a striking capability of up to Israel, therefore helping Saudi Arabia as well. Israel was never comfortable with Pakistan's nuclear weapons, and last year Pakistan was developing, it was said that there is data of Pakistan developing long-range ballistic missiles capability which can strike targets beyond South Asia. But however, Islamabad has denied that. According to the latest reports, according to the latest developments, Pakistan was also a small military contingent in Saudi Arabia, and the agreement points to further greater involvement now of Pakistan's military contingent in Saudi Arabia. For Pakistan, the power projection in Middle East is very huge, even though it has inserted itself in a volatile region, and most questions arise whether will Pakistan participate in the political turmoil that's happening in the West Asia region, and that's a watch and wait situation. Pakistan has the military capability, but this economic strength is very weak. Pakistan struggles to compete with India in the defense budget. At least India is 7 times bigger than Pakistan. However, there are reports that Saudi now may fund Pakistan's defense and also economic development as well because of this agreement. Apart from that, it was Donald Trump now hoped to expand the Abraham Accords, establishing diplomatic ties between Israel and Arab states to include Saudi Arabia. But Riyadh has made it very clear that it is not going to mend ties with Israel, keeping in mind of the Gaza war, especially the Palestinian state issue. And now India has finally said that it's studying the implications of the development for the national security as well as regional and global security, keeping in mind that Pakistan is now going to allow Saudi Arabia the access to the nuclear arsenal and moreover a collective security like situation on terms of the NATO coming into being in West Asia, a much more bigger geopolitical repercussion for this, and what it means for the political turmoil there, it's only wait and watch situation. So these were the most important points I thought I should be discussing with you all. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my new post. Until then, it's very happy learning.